It's okay to be alone. It always was, and it will always be the best way that you have to figure out who you really are. I know you've met the people telling you that same thing. I know you've read books telling you about the same thing. You've watched videos. You even probably thought about it yourself that, oh, I need to spend more time alone. It's true. It's 100% true. You need to be alone. You need to stay alone as much as you can whenever it's not detrimental to your well being, basically. Yep. With this Yap Sesh, I kind of want to talk to you about a little journey I went through. I'm going to give you my story and how I went from mistaking loneliness and being alone to now being able to spend weeks at a time not speaking to anybody and being perfectly content about it. Yeah. Because the subject I'm going to touch on today is a little, I'm going to start saying those things whenever the videos are a little, you know, yeah, touchy like this. And I think it's very important that you listen to it and that you understand it. Here I go. I am not a doctor. I am not a professional. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a psychiatrist or anything like that. I'm only giving you advice based on experiences and stories I've lived in my life to make sure that other people, maybe my age, maybe younger, maybe even older, can learn something from it. Don't base your life decisions on the stuff I say. Please. It wouldn't make any sense. All right. Now that we got this out of the way, this is what you need to be alone. 6 to 7 years ago, I started realizing that I didn't really know myself, that I needed to move on from being a child and start to grow as the person I was supposed to be. Um, you might have experienced that, honestly, and it doesn't matter how old you are. It's something that just comes. Normally, it comes around 21. Usually, on TikTok, they talk about the frontal cortex and whatever. That's maybe it. I don't know. I just know that it started happening around 6 years ago to me. At the time, I was in a relationship, and this relationship ended very abruptly by my fault, to be completely honest, in a horrible way because of that realization that I had to spend more time alone to figure myself out, or I would never be content with who I was. Um, Fast forward maybe 6 months after the end of that relationship, I had been on the journey to spend a lot more time by myself. And honestly, I had been enjoying it. It was pretty nice. I was still seeing people, but I was getting to understand more of the things that I liked, the things that I don't like, the people I like, the type of people I can be around, the type of people I cannot. And it's something that you think you know. You really believe that you understand that part of yourself. Like, of course, I don't like people that, I don't know, talk loud. I don't like people that chew with their mouth open, you know? But there's more to people than just those very obvious characteristics. And I think by understanding yourself and not in relation to other people, but genuinely yourself, you'll get to figure out a lot more about who you can resonate with, who is interesting, and who genuinely makes your life better compared to other people that just don't and that you had been forcing yourself to be with. At this point, today, right now, I have a lot less friends than I used to have even 4 years ago, even 3 years ago, to be honest. My life is entirely different, and I'm much, much happier than I was before. But anyway, breakup happens. I start to change myself. I start to become the person I want to be. I start to lean into what I want a lot more compared to pleasing. People pleasing. Because yeah, it's a buzzword, kind of. It's very easy for people to say I'm a people pleaser. That's who I am. But a lot of us are, especially when you grew up in very strict families, you become a people pleaser. You have to. You need to. Because otherwise you're seen as ungrateful or as a problem child. And you don't want that. After growing and kind of moving out of this phase of wondering who I was, I started dating again. And something very different happened. Because that time, I wasn't trying to become more like that person, but I felt like it was the opposite. Like the person I dated was way more like me than I was like them, or becoming like me than I was becoming like them. And it's a beautiful thing, I think. You lean into yourself so much that other people see it and they want traits of you for themselves. I think that's what we all strive for eventually. We all want to reach that point. You know what I mean? You're not perfect. I'm not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, bro. I am not perfect. Like no one is, you know? Um but eventually you start to see the qualities that you have that you weren't able to decipher through just absorbing everyone else's quality or flaws, actually. Because people don't only have qualities. The same way you or I don't only have qualities. But yeah, when it gets to the point where like all you do is date or all you do is go out with people and you spend absolutely zero time with yourself, you're going to end up a little Frankenstein kid, you know? You're going to be pieces of everyone. And of course, we all are pieces of everyone else. But you won't have a real identity. You won't really feel like yourself ever. This made me depressed, like crazy depressed, because I didn't know what I wanted. I didn't know who I was, and I didn't know where I was going. I didn't know those things before I started spending more time with myself. And it's so simple to think that, well, if I'm unhappy, it's probably because I'm lonely. And so I need to spend more time with people. It's so easy. And honestly, sometimes it really helps to just meet other people or like even spend time with your loved ones. One day you see your mom or your dad sitting on the couch watching TV. Instead of going to a room, you sit down next to them, you start talking. All of a sudden, your mood has improved so much because you just talk to them. It can also lead to issues. I'm not gonna lie, especially if you grew up in a black family, bro. Like you could have the best conversation, and then 1 minute later, it's just you're being, you know. I'm not even gonna get into this, dog. Try it, and of course, you know the advice. You know, meditation, going on walk, trying to like put your phone down, turn it around, put yourself some app timer so that after a specific time you stop. But bro, everyone says it because that's how it works. You know, you feel completely defeated. You get up, you decide to go on a 15-minute walk. And it's tough to find 15 minutes in the day. It is. But at the same time, how many hours do you spend on TikTok or Instagram every day? I'm on TikTok or Instagram every single day. I post there every single day. So I know the time we can spend on it. I like legitimately have a like a counter in my head for how many seconds I'm spending on those apps because I do not want to get absorbed by them. And even then, still, I catch myself scrolling and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? I have so many things to do. But it's the same for every single one of us. And so what you have to do is to consciously decide, I will take some of my time and give it to myself. Because trust me, you watching Reels or you watching TikTok is not me time. You're not having me time. Because me isn't gaining anything. Me isn't learning, is barely getting entertained because 10 minutes from now, you're going to forget what you saw. Me isn't really even enjoying because, again, 10 minutes later, you're at the same point in your life. Emotionally, I mean. Sometimes it helps. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes you feel really bad. You see a cute dog eating an apple. Oh, that felt good, you know? It felt good, but it wasn't real. And it didn't solve anything, and it didn't help you with your problems. I promise you that a 50-minute walk could help you solve so many problems you would be extremely surprised. Extremely. And I'm not talking about like creative problems, all right? Obviously, you're making a song. You go on a walk in between, you come back, you know how to advance the song. That's something that happened to me, so it's real. But I'm talking about life issues, like should I move? How am I going to pay my rent? Go on that walk. Spend time with yourself. Sometimes I don't have any thoughts, bro. Sometimes it's boring as fuck. But it's okay to be bored, man. It's okay to be bored because how are you going to know who you are if you never let yourself talk? All you do is hear other people's voices, man. You wake up, boom, boom, boom. You're in the transportation to go to school or to go to work, boom, boom. You get to work, you start listening to other people, you talk to other people. Lunch break, either you eat alone, boom, 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 or you watch something, or you talking to someone. You get home, boom, boom, boom. You watch something, you play some games, boom, you're done. That's your day. You didn't have a single minute where your brain was just braining, bro. All it did was analyze other people's stuff. It didn't create any, like, I don't know, man. Maybe it's because I'm a musician and I'm being a dick. But there is a choice that we can make. There is a definite choice that we can make where we can decide, okay, listen, I hate my life for various reasons. What can I control that I also hate? I hate that I spend 8 hours a day on social media. Would that stop? Put the phone down. I hate that I don't know what I want to do with my life. Start looking. You can literally go on Reddit and say, what do you guys want to do with your lives? And then you'll hear a bunch of different perspectives that you've never heard in your life. And this might change your entire opinion on the world itself. It could. It has happened to me. It has happened to a lot of people I know. Well, you just see one post and it changes your entire life, bro. I got one friend. Oh my God. I hope he doesn't watch this because I don't want him to know I told his story. I got one friend that 2 years ago thought his life was about to end because he got dumped by his girlfriend. He had a dead-end degree that he loved. He loved what he studied, but he believed that it was complete garbage and that it wouldn't amount to anything. And yeah, he was at the lowest point in his life. He decided, dog. Like, this dude is my fucking role model. I'm not even lying. Like, he's an inspiration to me like I haven't had in a long time, bro. He decided that 1 year later, his life was going to change. He decided this out of thin air. He said, 1 year later, I will not be where I am right now. I'm going to do everything I can to change my entire life. Bro, he fucking did it, man. He changed continent. He moved away. He's in a new country, speaking new language with native people, living his incredible life, bro. We're in a group chat with other friend. We're both just jealous of him. We're both at work thinking like, what the fuck, bro? Like, this dude is just living the life for real. This is getting long. All right, this is getting long. It was a tangent. At first, it was just going to be me telling stories and stuff. But I think I'm really heated about this subject because it's something that I wish someone had told me when I was a kid, when I was like 15 or 16. And I was just wondering why anything? Why was I alive? Why was I here? What am I doing? You know, what is the point of my existence? I keep bumping into the mic, bro. So sorry for your ears, guys. I hear it. Like I hear an echo of only the plosives. Yeah, this is horrible. This is horrible. This discourse wasn't there when I was growing up, you know? It wasn't there yet. I think it was coming up, but I couldn't find it. I didn't have anyone to tell me, like, start discovering who you are. All I had was, you should know. You're getting old, you should know. You should go there. Do this, do that. Recap. Being alone and being lonely aren't the same thing. If you've been alone for a long time and you're convinced that you know yourself and you actually hate that feeling of being alone, of actual loneliness, then yeah, move on. Find someone else, you know? But if you're feeling like you don't know who you are, which is a genuine feeling, like it's so weird to explain to other people that don't have that, but like I used to like look at myself in the mirror and be like, is this really me? Like, is this really me? And it wasn't even no physical, like, oh, I hate my body type of thing. It was just like, is this me? Is this who I am? That's insane. Bro, spend more time with yourself. And I say, bro, I say, sis, I say, whoever is watching this, I beg you, if you want to fix that feeling of not knowing who you are, spend more time with yourself, less with other people's voices in your brain. Because you don't have any time to build yourself. You don't have any time to reinforce your uniqueness, whatever makes you you. Because all of the info you get is from other people's perspective. But your brain doesn't get any information from what you think, what you believe in, how you experience stuff. You need this. You need to experience things by yourself. Anyway, I'm done, bro. I've been filming for way too long, bro. Like, I see the moon. That's not true. I see the sky and it's really pretty. But yeah, please spend more time with yourself. End of that yap sesh. I cannot believe this is the third yap session. I thought I was gonna be done after the first one, to be completely honest. We reached 50 subscribers, dog. 50 in the flesh. Yes, sir. I feel like I should do something special. So I don't know yet, though, because it's also just 50. Like 50 is a lot. 50 people is a lot. 50 people couldn't fit in this room. So that's insane. But also it's only 50 people at the same time. You know what I mean? I think you know what I mean. So I guess I'll do something special for the 100. I'll do something special for the 100. But we're already at 50, bro. That's crazy. I started like uploading for real 3 weeks ago. 50. I mean, I had a little bit. I had like 45, I think. 44 before I started the yap sessions. But still, bro, come on. That's insane. Anyway, like with every other yap session, let me know what you enjoyed. Let me know what you didn't. Let me know what I can fix. I am working on getting a camera. Now listen, I know that I don't necessarily need a high-end camera for this, so I'm going used. But if you have recs for cameras, recommendations, right now I'm eyeing the Sony ZV-E10 Mark II. Mark II because, like, you know, it's a camera, you get it, and then you keep it for like years and years and years. So might as well just get a pretty okay modern one, or the A6400. But I know that the 6400 is more tailored for photography, if I remember correctly, compared to the ZV-E10. I don't know, bro. We'll see. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I still cannot believe that some people are watching this. Every time I log on YouTube Studio and I see that the views went up, I'm thinking like, y'all are insane. Because like, what the fuck? Like, you're just listening to a random dude talk about life. Anyway, have a great day. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to let me know about what you think. Let me know what you think about loneliness. You know, I think it's important to have that discourse reinforced to us. especially at a young age. I'm not necessarily like targeting young people with those videos, but kind of, because I'm trying to talk to myself. You know, I wish, honestly, like 15-year-old me listening to this on the way to school or whatever, bro, I would have been a different person, man. Entirely. Entirely, probably. But it doesn't matter how old you are, man. You can be 15, you can be 50. I don't care. I still believe this applies to every single one of us. So don't think this isn't for you.